All right, shalom, shalom. Before we begin, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, Bishop Akim Zil. And we're going to do this lesson through the Spirit. And probably Yahweh Shai, we're just going to get into it. The Lord is working in the world. The Lord is working, the body of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh. We see what these things that's occurring is all written to occur before the returning of Yahweh, right? That we see these things happening in the earth, man. Like the Lord is working the body of Yahweh to put an end to this wickedness and this place Babylon, which consists with a bunch of confusion. This devil, Esau Edom, operates in manipulation. It says in the book of Daniel, I think in the New Living Translation, that he will be a master of deception. So that's how Esau Edom is working throughout the earth, even though there's facts that's coming out on this devil, not to trust this devil. Even what's his dude, Huckabee, what he said about the Israeli states, he's calling them what they're doing to this Palestinian family. He called them terrorists, man. So evidently these devils is coming. The truth is coming out of them. People's been saying that's what they are. They're committing acts of terrorism. So, but in general, Esau Edom is not to be trusted, man. But he's the devil. Devil means false accuser, and it also means deceiver. Man. So Esau has become cunning, crafty, deceiver, man. Because that's what he is. He's the serpent. A serpent is cunning and crafty. You get go into meaning of serpent, being a serpent, more or less a person that's untrustworthy. So that's Esau Edom generally. And this devil has created an atmosphere that even when the truth is being told, people want to neglect the reality. I'm going to look up what serpent means because I'm not trying to. Dwell on this devil, but it was just on my mind at the time. So that's what, because even to these events, these actions that Esau Edom is doing throughout the earth, not only in Babylon the Great, he's doing this shit throughout the earth, and but nonetheless, when the light is being shown on his wickedness, people want to neglect it. They want to act like it's not going on. They want to ignore it. But anything that revolves around Jake, they'll stick to it. They'll stick to it and they'll stick to it and hold to it like it's true. It could be some exaggerated bullshit, right? But they'll stick to it and hold to it like it's true. But I looked up serpent. I'm gonna go into the word serpent. It says literal and language meaning. It says treacherous person, right? Which this is the proper. I'm gonna get to the point. Treacherous person. It says an old-fashioned insult for a malicious, sly, and untrustworthy person. So that's what Esau Edom, man. He's a treacherous person. Man. This says a malicious, sly, and untrustworthy person. So that's what Esau Edom is, man. He's untrustworthy, but he got the form of manipulation that he can create these false environments, these through his technology, through mind control, through these devices. He's to manipulate these people to be like he can be trustworthy. Because we understand that this devil is not. We in this flesh, the Lord is doing these things for us to experience. Like I said, we know good and evil, right? So that's why the Lord allow us to fall anyway, so we can experience how it is to be in these certain situations. Literally, we in these certain situations of being down, We know how it is to be ruling the earth. We know how it is to be on the bottom of the bottom. So the Lord uh, created it, created this experience for the children of Israel uh, to know good and evil. So we experience these things from this devil to know not what to do. So that's how this devil is running the earth in a way you aren't supposed to run. You know, but I just want to say that. I want to point that out because this devil is constantly, uh, constantly finding ways to confuse and manipulate situations if he can. That's personal. Because we again, this is like the scripture said, this is our warfare is spiritual, not carnal, man. So this devil finds ways to manipulate your mind at certain times and alter reality. These devils can make people think a certain way about you when they shouldn't, and which they shouldn't think. Then they can make ways that these untrustworthy devils can approach somebody. They obviously look like dirtbags. I've seen it for myself. These Edomites obviously look like dirtbags. They try to talk to these people. They try to talk to these individuals like they some respectable person, like they untrustworthy. I mean, that like they trustworthy. And all that is a form of manipulation. That's what Esau even does throughout the earth. He can manipulate situations because he's got that ability. I got to preach up this book of Philippians 4:12. I know about how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere in all things, I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. So yeah, we are experiencing both spectrums. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's that balance that the Lord said. You know what I mean? A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So that's that balance right there. You got to have both. Abound to be able to abound and to be a basement. You know what I'm saying? Because I experienced that multiple times throughout my life. Man. You know what I'm saying? Where everything was okay. And then it was just gone. So we experienced that in our lives, man. This is scriptural, man. The only person that experienced like this is the devil's heaven. It's Esau Edom, man. You know what I mean? Because this devil, basically, the elite, they have little to no cares in this world, man. And the ones that you see out here acting like they assed out, or like they're the epitome of what's the word I'm looking for? Struggling here, because you see a lot of the Edomites now out here. But even though that's what the elders say too, they're curses are falling on them. But a lot of it I see is by choice, man. They choose their lifestyle, man. Because a lot of them are not motivated anyway. They live on somebody else's success. So if they can't have somebody to make them look good, that's all about that plantation life. This Edomite was doing what? He was sitting on his ass in the big house while all he had Jake out there working, man. And that's pretty much the mentality of the Edomites, man. A lot of them, if they can't sit on their ass and have somebody else do the work while they reap the benefits, you know what I mean? What else can they do? Because that's why a lot of the mentality is like that now. They don't feel motivated to put in the work, man. You know what I'm saying? They're not motivated. Their success is having somebody else make them feel, like they, well off or whatever, man. Yeah, like I see. To add to that point, that's what this Edomite lady was saying. She said they don't like the reason why they hate so-called Negroes is because they hate it, the source of it is they hate to see black intellect. They hate to see black unity. They hate to see black so-called black people that's beautiful. So and more or less that goes to Esau being jealous of Jacob. You know, so like it is, these devils don't want to go out there. This society was never built like that because they always benefited off Jake, his intellect, his manual labor. But that's what they do. Esau Edom is a thief, man. So every damn thing that they got, and that goes from their intellect and every damn thing else. Their so-called culture, it was stolen from other people. You know, a lot of it was stolen from Jake. You know, every nation that these devils conquered, they stole it. Every from the Greeks to the Romans to who they claiming they all is. That's why they claiming to be Christian, this Roman Catholic Church. We understand the Romans destroyed the true Israelites, which was basically done ultimately in 70 AD. You know, so but then when they took on the characteristics of uh, these other nations that they destroyed. So they don't they it ain't about them working hard to build a civilization and all this, man. We understand through history it was, that they was the bottom of the bottom, man. They had all these plagues going on. Even when they came over here to the Americas, man, what they was doing, they was plagued with disease, hunger, till Gad like revived them to the most part, revived them, and look how they repaid them. You know, so
the Lord said he's fouled in the earth.
Right. Yeah, these devils are the lowest of the low, the basis of men, man, right? That's Esau Edom anyway, generally. But like, you know, that's what these Jake out here, I mean, these, 2/3 out here, they want to play along with Esau Edom for advantage. You know, they want to play along with this devil. But yeah, I just want to point that out, man, because it constantly with this devil, man. He found ways of manipulating. Of course, these damn 2/3 being in the background is trying to assist him. Like the scripture said, go hand joined in hand, or they would, or like it says in Maccabees, they made a covenant with the heathen, man. You know, among our men, among our people are found wicked men. Also, they made a covenant with these devils to try to get some type of advantage in this life. And a lot of times they go against Jake, they go against other so-called Negroes to build some fake facade of a unity with a slave master. Because Yahweh Shai, let me see this, because that's what they were doing through the decades. They was building this fake unity of Jake and Esau, these coons with their oppressor, and at the same time they was building this riffraff in the so-called black community. The degradation. I'm just going to the word riffraff, and then we probably try to move on to something else through the spirit. Riffraff, because that's what they do. These devils can manipulate your mind, man. That's the whole point. Because the scripture says the renewing of your mind. So that's what this devil's trying to do. He's trying to manipulate your way of thinking, so you don't get on track. Especially Jake, the so-called Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the Israelites. He's trying to manipulate your mind because he don't want you to come back to reality of who you are. So this devil playing mind game. So like the scripture said, it's the renewing of your mind. So it's a constant mind battle with this devil, man. But he got physical exterior devices to help him aid, and that's this artificial intelligence and technology. That's why this devil's the magic man. He's cool. He can manipulate things through technology. But going back to this word riffraff, it says riffraff is a disapproving term for people who are not respectable, have a bad reputation, or belonging to a low social class. So that's what this devil has done to Jake, simultaneously trying to build some facade of a bond with these goddamn coons at the same time, man. Act like they not your enemy. They not who they are. Whatever actions that's being said about these devils can be brushed off, swept under the rug. When it's a constant continuation of these devils. it's you can go on and on a continuation with these devils, man. But as soon as Jake, like we ain't denying that there's wicked 2/3 out here, wicked so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's evident that there's wicked 2/3 out here, but that belongs to the environment this devil created, which this devil has created this environment of like I just read, riffraff. You know, he created this riffraff, which is again, it says a disapproving term for people who are not respected, having a bad reputation, or belonging to a low social class. So this devil has created that through this damn black culture, rap culture, hip hop shit. You know, when we continue to bring this out a lot, he created it. You know, that's why this rap came out. So these people that you see, and they are leaders of these people. So they are, you see on screen these rappers, celebrities, basically these rappers and shit. You know, and he's trying. This a form of manipulation through the mind to have you copy some riffraff of a culture. You know, of a lifestyle. We trying to have you mimic some riffraff uh, of some type of manipulative culture. He got that out there, which is riffraff. He got that out there so you can be looked at a certain way, so he can blame you. You know, at the same time, building some fake facade of unity with these particular picker coons out here, and let them have things like that. You know, my nigga type shit. You know, they got these picks out there. You know, and that's what they do. They constantly try to have this feud within the black community, niggas against niggas, this op shit, ignoring the reality of who your true enemies is. And the book of Psalms, chapter 83, tells you, I think the book of Psalms, no, 83, the book of Psalms, chapter 83, tells you the enemies of Israel, man. You know, and it starts with Edom. You know, but this devil do my manipulation. You know, he got the majority of our people 2/3 confused in thinking that he's their friend. And this devil can create literally false realities when you out in public. You know, because this devil can manipulate. That's what they try to do: manipulate ways to sway people's minds in society. Man. You know, he can put a bad stigma on people, and then the ones that needs to be watched and weary about, he'll put an atmosphere out there like they trustworthy, man. This devil got that type of ability out here in the world. And a lot of that shit go on in regular society without a lot of people realizing that, man. And that's what this devil does throughout society, man. That's why they can walk around, eat them out, walk around, like, and then you can be a straight scumbag. But everybody's looking at him like he's nobody to be worried about. He's walking around like nobody's looking at me, you know. Nobody's concerned with me. But then Jake go out there. You can be a a person in the society for the most part, doing what you should be doing in society for the most part. You know, you more or less ain't bringing no harm to anyone. You know, intentionally. You know, you're not doing something intentional to bring any harm to anyone, but you're being looked at as the suspect. Like, look at this guy right here. You know, so that's more or less a form of manipulation, man. But then you got Esau, obvious scumbag. He be out in society. Nobody looks at this guy like he's suspicious.
Yeah, that's a deflective tactic. You know, do that. You know, so that's how he try to paint everybody in the world as what, you know, he labeled them, you know, a terrorist, you know, and then he trying to make him, and then he called himself when he invades other people's countries, peacekeepers. But they go around there slaughtering and eliminating, citizens. Like they were trying to say, like that dude Cat Williams talking about Afghan. He like, they show me the Afghani military uniform or something. He said, well, I'll wait. He said they over there killing people in cowboy hats and cowboy shoes. They over there slaughtering their citizens, but they don't even got no standing army, man. But he called it peacekeeping. But he tried to justify his actions, he had named him a peacekeeper, he had named other people terrorists. That's the deflection tactic. In all actuality, it's quite the opposite. He's the damn terrorist, and everybody else, they try to somewhat, live peaceably. You know what I'm saying? So he wants something that they had.
And I got a precept to that. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and 25. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. So that's what his devil is doing, man. Like by peace, he's trying to come off with his perception of peace. I'm trying to bring peace, peace to the Middle East, trying to bring peace to the world. That he's destroying people in the name of peace, right? And that's what, and just like I said about these peacekeepers, but they are going around, missionary peacekeepers. They're going around slaughtering people, man, displacing people, out of their own lands, slaughtering and displacing people in the name of peace, right? So that's Esau Edom, man. So this devil has the form, and what that is called propaganda. And propaganda is a psychological operation, So he putting his word out here, peace. Oh, that sounds great. He's trying to bring peace, so that he's trying to bring peace. Whatever his cause is back behind peace. But that's a deception. That's deception that he's using, right? So Daniel chapter 8, 25, again it says, that through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. He shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, which shall be broken without hand. So yeah, that's what this devil do, man. Through peace, he's portraying like he's upholding justice in the world when he's not. He's the one to depend on and run to when injustices is happening. This lady was just saying how these Republicans, they protect these pedos, man, these torpedoes out here. He said they protect them, man. So it's the same wing. It's the same bird with the two wings of the same bird, man. This lady was pointing out, Mike played, how these Republican politicians are protecting torpedoes, man, by giving them less sentencing, little to no jail time, even to the point that they don't have to register for their offense, man. And making laws to protect them against their victims and shit, man. And that's totally fucking wicked, man. But a lot of these things like that, like I said, through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, man. So that's what it is. He's passing these legislation to cause so his damn treachery can prosper, man. So these damn torpedoes can be protected in society. Like they the ones that's being victimized. So that's what this devil is doing, man. So I'm gonna read it out. There's in NET, the book of Daniel 8 and 25, and it says, and by his treachery, right? So we read the definition of a serpent, right? It says a serpent says a treacherous person, man, is a serpent, right? Literal and language meaning. You look up the word serpent as it went to the point. It says treacherous person, man. right? So these devils, these Satans, these serpents, right? Esau, Edom. It says, and by his treachery, he will succeed through deceit. He will have an arrogant attitude. He will destroy many who are unaware of his schemes. So that's what these devils are doing, man. He is a treacherous. He is so like by his treachery, he will succeed through deceit. Right. So through his treachery, he's succeeding by deceit. He will have an arrogant attitude, and he will destroy many who are unaware of his scheme. So, like the scripture said, we are not ignorant to Satan's devices, right? I think that's Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2, I think, man. And you go into another uh Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and 11. Says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of his devices, right? That word device is going to schemes, right? So that's what this devil is doing. Satan, serpent, Esau, Edom, which is going to that word serpent. It means a treacherous person, untrustworthy person, right? Right. So Esau, Edom is untrustworthy, right? But he's painting a picture like he's not. Everybody is wondering, everybody in the earth is wondering at this, basically following him. The only ones that's not is the elect of the nation of Israel. He's that treacherous person, that snake, that serpent, which is the devil and Satan. This is Esau, Edom, man. You know, but no matter what he does, evidence against him, and it's a constant thing. It's a continuation of what he's doing. He's been doing it for centuries, man. And it's a continuation, right? It's a continue. He didn't change. That's why a lot of these talking points that's being talked about now, you can find these people was talking about this 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago. These same talking points, man. Like 60, 70, 80 years ago, these same talking points are being talked about even to this day. Why? Because this devil hasn't changed. Man. All they want you to do is ignore the history. So they can say it's a critical race theory, or it's a conspiracy theory. They want you to ignore the facts, ignore reality, ignore the true history. So they can say, no, that ain't real. That's fake. Whatever they're saying about these Edomites is fake.
All right. Like I got a precept in the book of Jeremiah 13:23. Can an Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to evil.
So this devil hasn't changed, man. This devil hasn't changed, man. He's not accustomed to doing good, man. He's accustomed to doing evil. And like I said, these same talking points, even 70, 60, 70 years ago or more, you can go back, these same talking points are being talked about today, man. But this devil hasn't changed, man. It's an illusion of change, because he let you, it's a give and take, right? So he's taking he's letting you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans seem like you're successful by letting you prosper a little bit here, make a little bit money, and you think because you owning things or buying things, but at the same time, this devil's taking rights away, polluting your food, and other fucking forms of manipulation and ways to fucking knock you off that you are not taking to mind, right? This devil's polluting your food, creating these lab-grown meats, taking your rights away, saying you can't do this, you can't do that. You know, when in actuality, you're supposed to have a right to do these things, making it mandatory for you to do these things. And you can't speak against anything that he's putting out there, even though the facts are are aligned with what you're saying. The facts are aligned with what you're saying, but it's double or make it a crime for you to speak against anything that he pushes, man. You know, so it's an illusion of it's an illusion of success, man, you know, or whatever you want to call it. Man. It's basically it's an illusion, right? Daniel chapter 8 and 25 again it says, by his treachery he will succeed through deceit. He he will have an arrogant attitude, and he will destroy many who are unaware of his scheme. Right? So a lot of you are going to be destroyed. You know, he will rise up against the prince of princes, yet he will be broken apart, but not by human agency, not by human agency, meaning Yahweh, man, prince of princes. He's going to stay. That's at the end of the world. You know, when Yahweh come back, right? He's going to be broken. You know, Lord, destroy this stuff, man. You know, but yeah, that's Esau Edom. He, that's his same mindset. He was doing this in antiquity, right? I think he was talking about who was he talking about? Antiochus. I think that's who this refers to, if I'm not mistaken. But his same mindset, Esau's same mindset is the same mindset. That same attitude and mindset is going on today, man. You know, these damn Greek and Roman emperors and rulers and shit. You know, that wickedness that they were doing in antiquity, they're still continuing it, continuance today. Because it's like I read out. Can an Ethiopian change his skin or leopard his spot? How can one that accustomed to doing evil? I mean, how the one that can do good is accustomed to doing evil? This devil is used to being evil, man, because that's what he is. He is the wicked. Esau Edom is the wicked, you know. And like I said, even this guy Mike Huckabee said about these Izzies over there, these settlers over there doing. He called them terrorists, man. You know, finally came out. He's a pro. He's pro. He's all for that state, man. Like it's going out. And then you look at. I'm not trying to talk about them too much either, because everything's being sensitive with them devils, just like it says in Job. Job, the book of Job, I think 21 says you can't criticize these devils, man.
I got another piece of the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and be yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Yeah, this fucking devil is fucking vexing as hell, man. Because you have these damn Wadi Yahweh now shot, through observation, through the spirit, basically. You see the actions of this devil, man. It piss you off. It piss you off because you can understand it. Like Stupid said, he's the author of all the mischief against the Hebrews. We tell you that in the Apocrypha. I think in the book of Maccabees somewhere. He's the author of all the mischief against the Hebrews, us, man. So all the issues of your life, who the source of it, these fucking devils, man.
And continuing on, by adding to that point, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, it says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. if thou at the last remember my words, like if thou at the last remember my words and be quick therewith. So man, the scriptures telling you don't affiliate yourself with these devils, man, because that's what he do. He when he'll act like he's some ally to you, but his whole intention is to overthrow you. And then with this I said it some time before, but there's a quote by this guy named Mad Dog Madison that pretty much states this exact scripture. He said, be friendly, be whatever, roughly paraphrasing, be friendly, but he said always have a plan in your mind to overthrow these other nations, man. Pretty much that's he got a quote out there, man. That's what they do. They come in your face acting like they humbling themselves, they smile in your face, acting like they uh you know, humanitarians, acting like they here to aid. I'm your friend, want to be your ally, but in the back of their mind, they're scheming on ways to undermine and overthrow you, man. He got a quote out there, man. This dude, he was, I think he was the top military general or something like that during a couple of administrations ago. Man, I can't recall what administration, but his name is man. You can look. They call him Mad Dog Madison, man. Let's see if I can pull that up.
I'm gonna continue on because I want to get this precept out. So yeah, like I said, these devils the shit pissed me off, man. The shit because then you sit back and reality and analyze. Yeah, it's these fucking devils, man. You sit back and analyze what's going on because that's what you got to do because you people of the world more or less they are being what is this scripture says you're fighting. They're being caught up caught up in uh, the distractions and pleasures of the world instead of them sit back and analyzing what's really going on, man. You're being caught up in all these distractions, sports, entertainment, public attraction and pleasure. You're not um, you're not sitting back and analyzing like what's going on here, man. You hear this going on, your government is corrupt. Even your current commander in chief, they say he's the most corrupt president of that ever existed. It's scandal after scandal after scandal with this guy. He's got over 30 some, 40 some felonies, and he's the fucking president. You know, and prices are going up. Fucking, they're aiding people into what they call wiping people off of the face, wiping people off of the face of the earth. They're behind that push or aiding people. You know, damn, poisoning your air, food, and water. You sit back and seeing what's going on, and who's the cause of it, man? It's only one nation of people, man. That's causing this shit throughout the fucking earth. On top of the endless murders, like the scripture said in Habakkuk, he destroyed many people, man. It's talking about Esau Edom.
Like this is the quote. It's Mad Dog Madison. I mean, his name is Jim Mad Dog Madison, man. And one of his famous quotes is this: "Be polite, be professional, but have a plan to kill everybody you meet." This is the mentality of these damn devils, man. They'll be polite to you, they be professional, they be friendly, but their mentality is what? To fucking kill you, man. You know what I'm saying?
What the scripture said, I think Ecclesiastes chapter 20 said, though he go crouching and humble himself, that's what he's doing. He's being polite, friendly, right?
Here's another, because this is how proud they are. Here's another quote that he says too. He says, "I do not lose any sleep at night over the potential for failure. I cannot even spell the word." So that's how proud they are, man. You know what I'm saying? So these are quotes, more or less philosophies that these people live by, man. You know,
Got a precept. This is Psalm chapter 10, 8. It says, He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He catches the poor, when he draweth him into his net. He crouches and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his stronghold. So just like I brought that precept about, that statement of saying from that this guy, that what he said, be nice and polite or something like that, but always have a plan basically set in the back of your mind to basically undermine or overthrow these people, man.
yeah, he went to this thing and said, kill, I'll kill everybody you meet. Not even, he's trying to kill you. So you can't get no blunt in that. You know what I mean? He trying to eliminate you, man. You know what I'm saying? That's this devil's mentality, man. There's no negotiation with somebody with a mentality like that. So their whole aspect is to what? See you to put you to death. So there's no reasoning with that, man. You know what I'm saying?
I got another precept of this book of Proverbs, chapter 27, 6, out the Amplified. It says, Faithful are the wounds of a friend who corrects out of love and concern. But the kisses of an enemy are deceitful because they serve his hidden agenda. So yeah, that's what Esau Edom has, man. You know, he has a hidden agenda. He has a scheme, just like we read out of book of Daniel, chapter 8, 25, out of the NET, that says you'll be destroyed. All those not aware of his schemes, basically, you're going to be destroyed. Man. So that's his agenda. So this devil always got a scheme and an agenda in the background working against you, man. But you're not aware of it. That's why they call when you shed light on these things, they call it a conspiracy theory. But this is his agenda that he has in the background that's supposed to be a secret. But then when people shed light on it, just as like people for the men of the Lord, and you got, insiders exposing these devils and this, that, and the third, these devil plan, basically these elites, their plans and shit. People want to dismiss it as a conspiracy theory, man. But he got hidden agendas, for the world. They got a Depop still agenda going on. They talking about charging you for breathing air. These are all talking points of the elite, the powerful, even these multi-billionaires. I put a lesson together. Basically, I can't remember what state, the city that was. Well, for the most part, it was a bunch of Edomites, and they had a city meeting of all the residents in that area pertaining to these databases being being built in their fucking community. And the lady said this: we are talking about billionaires, the world's richest people, the most richest people in the world. He said she was like this: whatever they want, they're gonna have God. So that's what she said. She said, whatever you're talking about, the billionaires, the world most richest people, the richest people in the world. So whatever they want, that's basically what she said. That's exactly what she said in different words. That's what she said, man. That's exactly what she said. We're talking about the richest people in the world, these billionaires, they're gonna want what they want. They're gonna have what they want. They want to build these data centers. But what you can do is you can what say that you got is you can say what area of your city or what area of your town you can build the data centers. You can have that much say. Say if you want a data center built over here in the west wing instead of the right wing, of your area, you got that to say. But if they want to build a data center in your town, in your area, your community, there's nothing you can do about it. So basically, they telling you, that lady told you, hey, whatever the billionaires who want all this money and control, these tech billionaires and CEOs and shit, they got all this money. Whatever they say, it's going to happen, man. So how more so the elites, you know, the banking families that run the world, because these tech billionaires and these faces that you see like uh, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, uh, Jeff Bezos, the likes and people like that, they are just the faces of the elites, man. You know, they're the faces of the elites, and whatever these elites want to happen in the earth, is going to happen, man, because they control it. Like this lady, even she recognized that. She just blatantly said it. I mean, bluntly said it, man. You know, so yeah, these devils got a hidden agenda, and whatever it is to minimize you people. Ultimately, to put you back into slavery. That's what this fourth industrial revolution is about. You know, that's why these data centers are being erected, man. You know, because why? It's the continuation or the furthering of the technocracy of the world being ran by technology, the advancement of AI. You know, and then they try to tell you how dangerous AI is. And you seeing all these robots taking people's jobs. You see these robots. Uh, these robots are like goddamn RoboCop, Terminator and shit, like type shit. Like the Terminator and RoboCop and shit, man. You know, they militarize these fucking robots, to be some ultimate weapon. You know, Terminator. You know, and then you got them taking over people's job, manufacturing and shit. You know,
We call it automation.
yeah, right. Taking over people's jobs and shit. You know, why is this happening? Because the elites want this to happen. You know, so whatever they say go. Now you people they want to just hopefully uh can take advantage of it. That's all your hopes is. You know, your hopes is taking advantage of it and have some damn positive effect by it. But just like that lady said, whatever they say goes, man. You know, they want this advancement of AI and technology, basically the fourth industrial revolution, which ultimately is going to bring about the enslavement, literally, of humanity all over the globe.
So this is basically this is Esau Edom. This is his world.
Yep, this is devil's world, and he's trying to he's trying to bring people, everybody on the planet Earth, the world for that matter, into slavery. He's going to do it through technology, through implementation of a microchip. You know, that's why they got these damn data centers erected all over the earth. You know, because this the advancement of technology and AI. You know, they're gonna make it mandatory for everybody to get a microchip. Right? You know, and that's the mark of this devil, the mark of the beast. You know, so that's the whole reason why things are moving in that direction. You know, it don't matter how many people are against it. The environmental, uh, the environmental issues, the water consumption issues, and noise pollution, and all these legitimate issues you got is not going to matter, man. You know, I was looking at a short video. They were saying like they were saying about these Edomites. Edomites was trying to bring up how it says it's a nickname by a lot of residents in the neighborhood. It says the dungeon. They got like a big black data center in this area, Massachusetts, man. is take a real look inside the largest data center in Massachusetts, right? So the reason why they got these things up because it's the plans of the elite, because it's a part of them enslaving literally the inhabitants of the earth. Man. You know, it don't matter how many people are against it. Then you're gonna have these devils acting like they for. You know why? Because they can't do nothing about it. So they're gonna play along like oh yeah, I'm for it. Shit. You know why? Because they cowards. Reality, they cowards, and they can't go against. Like I said, you know, you can't beat them, join them. You know, so that's what they is, fucking cowards, and they're gonna be pro for this shit, even though the negatives outweigh the positive if there is positive. You know, more or less, there's no positive from what I'm seeing, man. Even these devils are got this they destroying physical books, man. They're taking the physical books, rare physical books, and AI is copying them after they buy these books. I can't remember who was doing it, what company is behind it. They destroying these fucking rare books, man. You know, that's AI, the advancement of AI. I think I'm just play this clip. This is short. It's a short form. And a lot of these politicians that's for, they are paid off. They are being paid off. That's the reason why they for pushing it, because they are paid off anyway, man.
In Massachusetts. It's nicknamed by a lot of the largest data center in Massachusetts. It's nicknamed by a lot of residents in the neighborhood the dungeon, because it seriously is just this black building that looms over us. The Markley Data Center in Lowell. It's a mammoth digital warehouse storing everything from your text messages to your medical files. Jake Fortes might be its biggest critic. This blue house is his childhood home. The building has 27 emergency generators with smokestacks. Jake claims they send fumes toward his home. He says the rows of air conditioning units on the roof are always humming. That's a constant. There are coast-to-coast concerns about what these data centers can do to the environment, from the massive amount of energy they use to the incredible amount of water they need to keep all of the equipment cool. But the owners of this data center say it is not a drain on resources. I asked Markley for a tour of that data center, which they never do. That's Adam Burnham. He's the corporate vice president for Markley. And
so what did he say? He asked for a tour of it. They give us a tour. He said no, they can't give you a tour. So there's a lot of speculation that these data centers also can be converted into FEMA camps or detention centers, man. He asked for a tour of the place, and they said they denied him.
Our tour guide, how many servers do you have here in this building?
There must be thousands from hundreds of different customers.
And how much data is stored here?
To use technical terms, it would be petabytes.
Just 1 petabyte is equal to roughly 250 million photos, or the storage capacity of 250,000 smartphones, or 13 years worth of continuous high-definition movies. We can't bring the cameras in this room.
So you're going to see in here servers, routers, switches, equipment from all different types of companies.
This is what a rack of servers looks like at WBZ. Picture thousands of them. To keep them cool, some data centers use up to 5 million gallons of water every single day. Here, so are you using millions of gallons of water here?
Possible. I don't know the numbers.
Another criticism of data centers is that
possibly he don't know the numbers, man. They're using millions of gallons of. I heard 30 millions of gallons at some data centers, and it varies depending on the size of the data center. I heard some data centers are using up to 30 million gallons a day. They said this one 5 million, and it more or less is creating man-made drought, man, because basically water is scarce. And that's what even this guy, Bill Gates, was saying. He said, due to the advancement of tech, he was giving a warning out, through the advancement of technology, it's going to cause a man-made drought. And that's what he was saying, like in 2026, billions, if not millions of people are going to die from drought, man. And then one of these, which I can Google search that about, that's what he's saying, man. Even he said that through the advancement of these tech companies, water is going to be scarce, man. You know, and look at how much millions of gallons of fresh water. It's not just water; it's fresh water. You know, drinkable fresh water that can't be recycled. It's after they use it, it's basically unusable for it's it can't be used for human consumption or human use after the data centers use it, man.
Construction is done, they don't create a lot of jobs. How many employees do you have working here?
Right now, it's a little bit of the slow period, probably about a dozen.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right. Antonellis said he really wants Markley to expand to create construction jobs. And they are buying up nearby homes and land, including this old power plant up the road. But Lowell just recently voted for a 1-year moratorium on data centers. No building, no expansion. Back to our tour. The final stop was to listen to the emergency generators that neighbors like Jake had complained about. You're saying this is as loud as it gets.
So it's not under complete load, but this is the typical noise you're going to get.
But you think it's not making the noise that the neighbor is complaining about.
Correct.
You think he's exaggerating.
I think they're exaggerating, yes.
The largest data center in Massachusetts.
It's nicknamed by a lot of residents in the neighborhood the dungeon because it seriously is just this black building that looms over us.
The Markley.
So yeah, man, like I said, it doesn't matter what complaints these people got. They're gonna move forward in building these data centers because they're gonna move forward in building these data centers because it's a part of the plans of the elite, basically the fourth industrial revolution. You know, and like the guy was saying, he said they use millions of gallons of fresh water, drinkable fresh water a day. Millions. He don't know the numbers. You know why he don't know the numbers? Because he ain't trying to tell you the numbers. Probably it's way more than 5 million. But that's my assumption. It's probably way more. It's probably way more than 5 million. He's not trying to let you. He's not trying to give the numbers out high. You know, so you're supposed to know a lot of what's going on. You more or less some high position in there. I'm thinking he's not just talking to a regular, any regular person that runs that facility. Then they were talking about how many employees work there. Talking about only 12 people. Like, what the fuck? You only got 12 people working at this big ass fucking building, man. Not even creating jobs. They buying up land. Because ultimately they want to have people in what they call these 15-minute cities, man. Everybody gonna be crammed up in these 15-minute cities and shit. Then there's gonna be and there's gonna be the majority of the areas gonna be off limits or unauthorized areas to regular society, man. You're gonna be regulated to your area, more or less a radius. Let's say like a 30-mile radius. You can't wander out this 30-mile radius. Everything gonna be that you need. You're gonna work. You're gonna play. Grocery store. Everything gonna be within 15 minutes of your needs. You know, so to speak. I'm just giving an example. You know, you can do your research on it. These 15-minute cities, man. They even got some on record already. I think over there in the West Coast, they already got 15-minute cities, basically, man, called smart cities or something like that. You know, so this government is gradually bringing these plans into effect. And as generations come, they're going to look at it as something new. Why? The little kids and young, and then you got the older people not even paying attention. So what? They are not, the majority of the older people that's around while it's happening, they not even taking attention to what's going on. So how much more the younger generation? They ain't gonna know what's going on. All they're gonna do is do what they're told. This is what the government says. This is what they're requiring now. They just saying we got to do this, we have to do that. That's how they're gonna look at it. You know, that's how they're gonna take it. And this is something that is required. You know, through like you said, through his policy, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. So he's passing these regulations and laws and say, hey, look, this is the law. This is the policy. This is what we're supposed to do. That's all I can tell you. You know, they doing that now, you know. And like I said, the older generation, they not even taking attention to what's going on, how much more the younger generation, man. You know, so this devil's gonna prosper as the generations continue on, and the dumber people get, the more ignorant people get, and the more deceived through 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 entertainment and pleasure. As long as you, like I said, a Roman circus, the emperors keep the people occupied through entertainment and pleasure. You know, and now he's creating this hidden agenda in the background for world domination. Ultimately, that's the plans of the elites. You know, I think this Bill, I'm gonna say Bill Gates. Bill Gates water. Bill Gates water consumption 2027. His International Business Times, it says Bill Gates warned billions could die by 2027 while touring, touting U.S. water reserves as the only way to stay safe. Right? So this is I'm gonna show you the screen. International Business Times. Right? So this is an article. International Business Times. Right? It says Bill Gates warns billions could die by 2027 while touting U.S. water reserves as the only way to stay safe. Word touting means tout.
Touting.
It says to aggressively promote, praise, or advertise something like a product, ideal, or person, or a persistently solicit customer business, or to persistently solicit customers, business, or ticket sales. So what? So he's trying to solicit or buy up water reserves. So he got to preserve it. You know, he's buying up all these. What he's one of the CEO of Nestle, BlackRock, along with this guy. They trying to buy up a lot of these fresh water reserves. He said billions of people gonna die, man. So that's what it is. They still got a detox agenda, man. Like that's what that Georgia Guidestones was all about. Was these devils trying to cover their track? No matter, I don't know how it came about. Was it the act of Yahweh Bashim Shai? Or these devils? But I think it was like a lightning strike, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember how it happened. Like I think it was like a lightning strike, allegedly, that destroyed it. So I don't know if it was the acts of Yahweh Bashim Shai. These devils trying to cover their track to say people that this never existed. You know, because the light was being shed on these devils. A lot of people was taking heed to it, so now they try to cover it. However, it came about. Nonetheless, there was the Georgia Guidestones tell you that they had to maintain humanity under 500,000. 500,000 people. They like 8 billion and counting. 8 billion and counting people on the planet Earth. Man. So that's like this guy said, by the year of 2027, that's like 2 years roughly. If so, you know, billions of people gonna die from water shortages. So
shortages could be the biggest mass mortality event the world has ever seen. I'm talking billions of people dying. What? The only way we ensure people remain safe is by being invested in the United States water reserve. Water shortages could be
millions of people may die.
I got a precept. This is Ecclesiastes 5:8. It says, if thou seest the oppression of the poor, the violent perverting of judgment and justice in a poverty, marvel not at the matter, for he that is higher than the highest regarded, and there be higher than they. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field. But see, that's what they do. They oppressing everybody by what? It says the profit. This is moreover the profit of the earth is for all. So all the resources that the earth has produces is for everybody. But they buying up natural resources and claiming it for themselves, man. You know, and then they're formulating these man-made droughts, man-made famines, etc. You know, and by what? Claiming what should be for everybody to themselves, man. So whatever the earth yields is supposed to be for everybody, man. Making policies where you can't even grow organic stuff, man. You know.
I got a in NET. I'm gonna read out the NET, right? Psalm 73:3, it says, for I was envious, for I envy those who are proud, as I observe the prosperity of the wicked, for they suffer no pain, their bodies are strong and well fed. They are immune to the trouble, they are immune to the common, they are immune to the trouble common to men. They do not suffer as other men do. Arrogancy is in their necklace, violence their clothing. Their prosperity causes them to do wrong. Their thoughts are sinful. They mock and say evil things. They proudly threaten violence. They speak as if they rule in heaven, and they lay claim to the earth. Right? They speak as if they rule in heaven. They lay claim to the earth. So basically, that's what they're doing, man. Laying claim to the earth. The earth belongs to me. I'm regulated. I gotta buy all these water reserves, you know, GMOs, the land, shit like that. Verse 10. Therefore, they have more than enough food to eat, and even suck up the water of the sea. So yeah, man, they even taking claim to the water and using up all the fresh water. Now this guy talking about they gotta, because there's a potential of what he says by 2027, billions of people will be deceased due to the lack of water, man. So he's trying to buy up water reserves. It's him, the CEO of Nestle, or Nestle's behind it, BlackRock, whoever else is behind it. There's probably plenty other billionaires behind the scenes too. They're laying claim to the earth. They say the earth belongs to us. We gotta make people pay for breathing air. Now, even more so, water. They charge you for water. We got to clean the air. Even the water is more polluted. We got to clean the water. They got to clean the water. We got to take claim to the soil that you use because it's polluted. You know, food is polluted, so we got to tax you on that. They lay claim to the earth, man. When the earth was given to man to live on, and free from Yahweh Bashir Yahushua, man. That's why you're supposed to have land and property, you know, so you can grow your fruits, your vegetables, and cattle. You can sustain your livelihood off your land. But you can't even buy land right now. You know, I mean, you can't even do that right now. Even if you had land, they got all these restrictions and codes and shit like that. These people can't even build on their own land as they want now. You know, this devil's getting more and more restricted. Some people you can't even grow fruits and vegetables. There's restrictions in certain areas. You can't grow fruits and vegetables and shit. You know, you can't have anybody in your driveway, all sorts of shit. Like sleeping in your own, you can't even sleep in your own backyard. Like camping, like putting a tent or a camping tent in your backyard. Some states in America, you can't even do that. That's a fucking violation. Man.
And I'm going to take on that Ecclesiastes 5 and 10. It says, he that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. When good increase, like when goods increase, they are increased that eat them. And what good is there to the owners thereof, saving the beholding of them with their eyes? The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep. There is a sore evil which I have seen under the sun, namely riches kept for the owners thereof to their hurt. To their hurt. Yeah, because that's what's going to happen, man. They're trying to keep all the abundance, the riches, but it's what? It's to their hurt. A bit, ultimately, it's for their hurt, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord pretty much is allowing these. The Lord said what? He will let them that. I'm butchering the scripture, but he's letting them that let it. You know, so the Lord is letting these devils do this to what? Ultimately, it's to their hurt. You know, through their proud arrogance, they think that they're in control. You know, but we know through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shah is for their own. Because that's what he's doing. Like he did in ancient Egypt. He's hardened. He's hardened this devil's heart. You know, he's making him feel like he's somebody in order to take him down. You know, that's what he's doing. You know, he's going around seizing up things that don't belong to him, and in his pride, arrogance, he's saying to himself like, "Who's going to stop me?" You know, that's pretty much how this devil works. Like, there's nobody in my way to do. There's nobody in my way, so I can pretty much do whatever I want to do. You know, but you even see in their system, because there was, this off the subject, but it's still relevant. They talk about these Epstein files. They were saying that, I don't know if it was Congress or somebody or the federal government, they said they're not prosecuting anybody in that list. So all this dirt and all this stuff they was talking about, show the list, all this stuff they was talking about, and when they got the list, they got these names. You know why? Because they know all of them is at fault. Because even this during this so-called civil rights era, they got this Negro, man, he was an informant. So his primary job for the FBI, being he was a quote-unquote black guy, I can't think of his name right now. His job was to infiltrate other black organizations. And he was saying that too. He made it clear. He said everybody got skeletons in their closet, meaning that these devils got dirt on everybody, which is obvious. They try to act like it's a perfect world, because this whole system is filthy. So of course you got people that got skeletons in their closet. How you expect to be clean in a land full of filth? As soon as you step outside, you're stepping in the filth. But they expect you to be clean, spotless. That's the unreasonability of these devils, man.
Right. But they know it's impossible for the most part. This shit's almost virtually impossible, man. If you motherfucking devils. I got a precept. This is the book of Job 20 and 11. Out of the NET. It says his bones were full his bones were full of his youthful vigor, but that vigor will lie down with him in the dust. It says, if evil is sweet in his mouth, and he hideth it under his tongue, if he retains it for himself and does not let it go, and holds it fast in his mouth, his food is turned sour in his stomach. It becomes the venom of serpents within him. The wealth that he consumes, he vomits it, he vomits up. The Most High will make him throw it out of his stomach. He sucked the poison of serpents, the fangs of a viper kill him. He will not look on the streams of the rivers, which are the torrents of honey and butter. He gives back the ill-gotten gain without simulating. He will not enjoy the wealth from his commerce. So that's ultimately what's going to happen to these elites, even though they're swallowing up riches, man. The Lord is going to make them give it back up, man. They're gonna give all of it up, man. You know, but that's what it is. They control the earth now, all the riches and resources. That's what this devil is doing. He's trying to take over everything. The whole earth is dead, so they can. That's basically the whole reason of this fourth industrial revolution. To have this devil could have complete control over everything, even you people, man. He's trying to take control over you, not just your the natural resources, your water, your air, because you're going to be charged too. You're going to be monitored too. Your intake, food consumption, what is it called? This credit score, universal credit score, which I think China is already doing. See whatever you consume, you got a limitation on this, and you don't spend all this within a certain money, it's going to be taken from you. You know, you can't. You got a basically a limitation on everything. Your consumption of cholesterol, your salt consumption, sugar consumption, all these things be monitored, and your vital signs and everything going to be monitored by this devil, right? They say, well, you got a limitation. You already used up your limitation. You can't, shit like you're gonna have total. That's his ultimate goal, to have total control over everything. You know, and it's been shown in a lot of these movies, and then you come out and hear these billionaires, multi-millionaires, these people with all this influence and control of the world saying these things, you know. And a lot of people want to ignore it, act like it ain't going on. And like I said, they want to ignore it, act like it ain't going on, and then they're being in the dark about what's really the real reality of what these elites are trying to bring forth to the world, man. They want to ignore it. They want to ignore it, act like it's not going on, to escape the reality. They like, if we ignore it, it's not going to happen. You know, basically that's their mindset. We're just not going to pay attention to it, so it's not happening in our world. They want to live in this illusion of and the things of reality is not going on. They live in their own reality. You know, they deceiving themselves and just want to live in pleasure and entertainment and folly, man. That's why they want to live a life of folly and pleasure and ignore reality. You know, a lot of people mindset is like that, and the elites made it like that. The elites created that. The elites created that, man. That's the reason why they paid like this guy Bill Cooper. You said that's the reason why they give all this money to these athletes, man. He says it's a fucking child's game. Basketball, football, baseball, soccer, whatever, man. That shit just a child's game. Why are you paying all these people billions of dollars? And you got motherfuckers that they get hundreds of millions of dollar contracts, shit like that. Like, man, what the fuck? You giving all these people hundreds of millions of dollars to play a goddamn child's game, man. You know, motherfucker play 5 years, get $100 million and shit like that. Like, man, what the fuck? You know, to play a goddamn. That's what these idiots out here seeking to be. I want to be the next Michael Jordan, next LeBron James, or whoever, man. Because these devils giving these goddamn propped up niggas all this goddamn money. That goes for any type of entertainment to these damn fucking rappers or whoever, man. They giving all these damn idiots just like this dude with this dude. Goddamn. They had them in the news. This, yeah, NBA young boy. This nigga talking about what he said? NBA young talking about he going to South Korea. He's not coming back to America, man. Talking about he's not coming back to America. Talking about this motherfucker got all this goddamn money. I'm like, how? How the fuck? Who the fuck is this fuck? Like, who the fuck, man? Get the fuck out. Like, this dude talented and shit, man. Some shit. I'm trying to see how much money they said this dude had. Like, I don't know. They were saying, I don't know if I was saying something about this dude. They were talking about he got all this goddamn money. I'm like, shit crazy, man. That's all these niggas got to say. I got all this money. You know, but why you a rapper though? You got all this money, why the fuck are you rapping?
Yeah, they try to act like they already rich. But what you rapping for?
Goddamn crazy. He said Trump pardoned rapper to NBA YoungBoy moved to South Korea and declared he would never Trump pardoned rapper NBA YoungBoy moved to South Korea and declared never in my life will he return. Meaning he's not coming back to America. You know what I'm saying? He said he's not even coming back to America. They were saying this dude got all this goddamn money and shit, you know. But it's supposed to be a good place to live. How the fuck? Why the fuck he's supposed to be some damn multi-millionaire if I'm not mistaken. Talking about he got all this goddamn money. They pardon this goddamn hooligan, you know. And he got all this goddamn money and shit.
Yeah, they gonna soon enough they gonna kick his ass out of the country, man.
Yeah, he probably gonna do something to violate the South Korean government policy anyway. You know what nigga these motherfuckers think they can do anything, go to these other countries, smoke, motherfucker on the damn airport, got fucking weed, smoking weed in the airport, motherfucker catch some goddamn charge or something. Some damn dumbass charge or something. They man, I'm like, even with this guy's situation, he said he's never coming back to. So that should let you know that America ain't what it is, man. You know, this dude's supposed to be some multi-millionaire rapper, supposed to be living the best life that you can damn think of. You know, one of the goddamn, but he's not even coming to America. So what you think about regular people, man? How is it here for regular people, man? You know, and this is all written prophecy that take forth. That this place, America, Babylon the Great, is going to get worse and worse, man. It's going to gradually get worse and worse. And then the Lord probably going to speed things, more or less, the Lord going to speed things up also. You know, this place is at a downward spiral, man. And it ain't going to get better, man. It's only going to get worse from this point on, man. You know, because basically the Lord said it, you know. And the devil's up there, like I said, these devils want to ignore reality. Out here want to ignore reality and act like reality is not what's going on, you know. And they just want to live, like I said, they want to live in their own distorted life. They live in an alternate reality, some damn distorted life. All they want to be consist of is folly and murder. Like the scripture says, youth, surface, yeah, surface. Luke 20:21-36. So basically, that's the mindset. You got to Luke 21. Luke 21, 34. Basically, this is the mindset of these people out here, man. This is Luke 21-34 says, take heed to yourselves. The Lord is saying, telling that to the prophets, man. This is Yahweh Shai speaking, man. Like he telling to the disciples, right? It says, take heed to yourself. Lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness in the cares of this life, so that they come upon you unaware. So basically, that's the mindset of these people, man. You know, we got an NLT. It says, watch out. Do not let your hearts be dulled by carousing and drunkenness and by the worries of this life. Do not let that day catch you unaware. Right? So that's what these people are, their mind is, we're going to see with this word surfeiting or surfeiting, what this word surfeiting means. So basically, that's the mindset of these people, man. Okay. So by analogy, but the surf, it says it's the act of overindulging, especially eating or drinking, to a point of sickness, disgust, total physical discomfort. It often refers generally to having an overabundance of something. But basically, that's what these people are doing. They're overindulging in this damn in pleasure. Like they're pleasure and folly, entertainment. They're being overindulging in that life. Man. So that's the mindset of these people. They want to live a virtual reality. They want to be over. Because there's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself, relaxing. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But that's all you consist of. You're not uh, basically paying attention to the realities of the world. You're gonna be caught out here off guard, man. You know, and a lot of people, that's what they want. That's the alternate reality that I said that these people are living, man. They want to ignore reality, live in this I'm just, my life is going to be consist of entertainment, playing fucking video games, and whatever sports team, this, that, and the third, and overindulging in folly and mirth, pleasure, and everything else in society. I'm just ignore it. That ain't part of my life. That's not a part of my life. You know, and then they live in some alternate so-called reality. That's basically the mindset of these people. You know, being drunk, being drunken. You know, that's what you are. You're drunk. Man, you're drunk. That means you don't know what's going on. You know, scripture tell you the people you're drunk but not with wine.
Yeah, you in a state of impairment, so your judgment is poor. You know,
right? The scripture tells you that people are you're drunk but not with wine. You're staggered but not with strong drink. So that's basically a mind state. Your mind state. You're a drunken mind state. You are not aware. You are not conscious of what's really going on. You know, and that's what you're doing. You're overindulging in these activities to basically ignore reality. You know, basically that's why these people do it anyway. You know, it's basically a form of comfort. They want to comfort themselves by going out and party all the time. Even this guy was saying I'm gonna see my face. He said that's a form of what these Masons say. That's what hell is. He said, he was saying something about hell. That's what these Masons say hell is, man. If I can find it. Being just partying and shit like that. So that's basically what these people are doing, man.
LeMay and Michael Aquino are very fond of Nazis. Because Hitler developed a
Saying but he was saying that's what these nations, that's what they practice, that's what they say hell is. Hell is just a big party of debauchery, you know. That's what these people in America are living in, you know. People in America basically living this life of debauchery. Debauchery is basically debauchery and an illusion. You know what I'm saying? Debauchery and illusion. Just wanna party there to escape reality. That's basically that's what it is, a form of they're trying to comfort themselves by living in pleasure and folly and mirth, partying all the time to escape reality.
LeMay and Michael Aquino are very fond of Crowley in 1904. And according to he actually writes about this in his letter. Right about the fact that their first basin was Tubal-Cain. Now Tubal-Cain, if you know your Bible, was a seventh man from Adam by way of Cain. Because you can't get involved in Satanism on the hardcore level without first being my official shrine portrait of Satan as part of my wedding. I'm involved in hardcore Satanism. What did that mean? Well, that meant I had to sell my soul. Sign my name on the contract. But I had to sign my name. The satanic doctrine here is that hell is not what we believe it is, or what the Bible teaches it is. The satanic doctrine is that hell is this incredible party. It's like a non-stop eternity orgy. So you're smoking dope, you're fornicating your brains out, you're listening to rock and roll for all eternity, and it's a party.
You see, he said that's what hell is, man. Basically, that's what these people doing right now, man. He said that's what these Masons say hell is. Some goddamn party. It's a big ass party, orgies. You get high all the time, get high. Everything's a fucking big ass party. You know what I'm saying? Fornicating and shit like that. So basically, you look at what the condition of a lot of these people in America. That's what they're living, man. You know.
Or what the Bible teaches. The satanic doctrine is that hell is the satanic doctrine here is that hell is not what we believe it is, or what the Bible teaches. The satanic doctrine is that hell is this incredible party. It's like a non-stop, all eternity orgy. So you're smoking dope, you're fornicating your brains out, you're listening to rock and roll through all eternity, and it's party hardy.
before I could get onto the priesthood of Satanism.
See, that's what they believe in. You know, this Masonic, that's what they believe. That's what these people are living, man. These people are living on that type of damn lifestyle. That's all they're indulging in. Just like the scripture said in Luke, overindulging. Overindulging in folly and mirth, man. You know, that's what these people, to escape their reality or seek some type of comfort. That's what they trying to do. They want to just live in pleasure, you know, party. You know, every work, life is a constant party. You know, more or less, like I said, they doing it to escape reality, to seek some type of comfort. You know, but that's all a plot of the elites anyway. The elites made that environment anyway. Everything that's going on and being exercised and being done basically in the world, the elites basically has something to do with it. They created it. That this entertainment environment and all that shit, sports, celebrities and all that, they created that so you people can do exactly what you're doing now, be occupied, basically overindulging in folly and mirth, man. I'm gonna read that again out of Luke 21:34. It says, and take heed to yourself, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting or in drunkenness in the cares of this life, so that they come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Right. So basically, that's talking about Revelation chapter. What is it? Chapter. Revelation chapter. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. Right. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." Right. So this day, this hour is going to come upon you unaware, like a snare. You know, because you're what? You're living this lifestyle of party. Life is a big party. All I want to do is party, party, party. You know what I'm saying? Party, party, party. Let's get drunk, man. Let's get high. Party, party, party.
Yeah, it makes like that. Maybe that's the lifestyle of these celebrities, man. Especially damn nigga musicians, so-called musicians. That's all they do, living the life of party. Because this is here.
Your P Diddy. Yeah. For example, that nigga is a primary example.
These celebrities in general, yeah, mainly them. So they the what you want to say, the life of the party. They the one that pay to, get it started, But that's the design by who? The devil himself. He designed it that way,
And that Masonic dude, that he was living it. He was basically he's an insider, man. And he basically telling you what he had to go through, what they say hell is. Hell is a big party, man. Fornication, debauchery, and orgies and goddamn fucking getting high, and shit like that. That's what hell is, man. It is in what they say. But we understand hell according to what the Bible is. So basically that's Esau's heaven, though. You know what I'm saying? But that's going on in hell. This type of behavior is going on in hell. This is the higher level of hell, so to speak. The higher level of hell when it comes to Esau. Because this lifestyle that you just explained, that's Esau's heaven, man. And you look up how the Romans and the Greeks was living. This is how they was living. Orgies, exactly what he explained, man. Life's a big party. That overindulgence and orgies and getting intoxicated and fornication. That's basically what these Edomites is doing. So they're living in their heaven, but it's actually hell. You know, this is what the planet Earth, the condition of the planet Earth is in. It's hell primarily for the Israelites. You know, it's hell for the Israelites, but this is the highest form of hell, which is their heaven, right? And that's why they live and they trying to draw you into this shit, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, to keep you preoccupied with bullshit, you know. And that's a form of illusion of progress or success to draw you in this higher level of hell of living in party land. You know, like this. That's all this shit is, a higher form of one of the highest forms of levels of hell that we live in. Like this guy was explaining, you know. But it's Esau's heaven though. That's how he's living, you know. But yeah, this day will come upon the ones that's like that. They're gonna come upon you unawares, man, as a trap. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna follow the ways, or follow the way of destruction, which is accepting that, or follow the way of ultimate destruction, which is accepting that mark, right? So that's basically what the Lord is saying. He said, don't pay attention, don't be overly indulgent in this fucking entertainment and being worried about keeping up with the trends of this world and shit. All that shit is a form of distraction. You know, the cares of this life, you follow the trends and you trying to keep up with this, and you trying to keep up with the latest trends and who's doing this and who's doing what, you know, instead of understanding what's really going on in the world and what's the fuck really happening, especially according to the prophecies of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. You have no idea. So that day is going to come upon these people like that unaware, you know, as a trap. But that's what it is. It's going to be a trap for you. You're going to be destroyed, you know, in accepting this devil's mark, which we was basically explaining in the beginning. That's the whole reason why they're trying to bring about this fourth industrial revolution, these data centers and these robotics everywhere, and cameras, the flock system cameras. A lot of people are divided on that. These criminals in these uniforms are misusing what, like they always do, abusing their authority and misusing things. Like that's nothing new, you know. But these flock cameras, that's a part of the fourth industrial revolution. Everything's going to be monitored by cameras. Cameras everywhere. You know, it ain't for your safety. So that these devils can keep a close eye on everybody. You know, it ain't for your safety or security or like they trying to portray. You know, because that's what they always got a cover story into. They trying to have some type of positive cover story into whatever agenda that they try to push. They act like it's a good thing, but it's not what they claim it to be, or it's not as it seems. You know, it's basically is for surveying or surveillance. It's a surveillance tool to watch everybody on the planet Earth, man. That's why they got these cameras over here. Any security, not for your safety or security. It's so they can watch you know. So yeah, like I said, that's basically what everybody who wants to be elected, who wants to not be elected in the nation of Israel anyway. That's basically their mindset, man. Because I be seeing that shit all the time. I see this damn lady on social media. That's all she was doing, watching fucking. She got social media clips. All she doing is watching fucking sports. Sports, NBA, this, that, this lady. So she's very attractive and shit, right? But that's all she was. Every fucking video. That's all she was doing, talking about some goddamn sports team, man, from the NBA, NFL, soccer, whatever, man. That's all she's making videos on.
Yeah, because like that's you know, that's who these celebrities anyway. I ain't gonna say you know, whatever they want to call themselves, these overpaid Negroes, to say the least. That's who they drawn to. They're gonna, they get these women, they more or less like groupies, and that's who these females attracted to because they can provide this certain lifestyle that they want. You know what I'm saying? Materialistic. So they're gonna appeal to those type of people because they know if I look a certain way, they're gonna be attracted to me, which I understand the whole dynamic. It's simple. So they're gonna be appealing to those type of people, man, because they know those type of people provide a certain could provide a certain lifestyle. So she want to be appealing to them, attracting them, talk about them, hoping that somebody probably, if they ain't already, invite her to their circle, and now she's in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's simple, man. I mean, just like in this modern, I ain't gonna say modern, but in this non-celebrity, that's how these jokers is too when it comes to jobs. They look out for these certain females. You look a certain way, they can try to put you in the door, get you a position. If you give up your goodies now, I can promote you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Certain perks, whatever. That's how it is. Which that's obvious. You know what I mean? But these damn lames right here think it's a mystery because they want to be put in that position so they know what females like, which it is money. You know what I'm saying? Like they're saying, money makes the world go round. So anything will consist of monetary benefits. They know it's going to appeal to those, certain women because they know they want a certain lifestyle. So then they want to make themselves available to certain people. That's why my perception is, that's the way of this world, man. It's quite obvious now. That's why they own social media. They're seeking attention. More likely they're seeking attention for what? To hope that somebody that can just like I mentioned, to provide a certain lifestyle that they're looking for. So yeah, that's quite obvious nowadays, man. She looks attractive, but she's talking about her. You know why? Because she's trying to make herself available to those type of people. From my observation, she may be a what you want to say a sports enthusiast or whatever, or whatever you want to call a fan. But nah, man, that's why the reason why they do that, man. One is attention, and then trying to seek attention for a certain dynamic, or right. And the precept of that, this is what Samuel said. First Samuel, talking about Saul, right? First Samuel chapter 16:7, it says, "But the Lord Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature." Right, so that's what these people see with stature. They see whatever the stature, right? Money, you got money, fame, or some type of physical attribute that they appeal, that's appealing to, right? More so to these females, more so to females, more so to females, right? It's First Samuel chapter 16:7. It says, "But the Lord Yahweh said to Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord Yahweh seeth not as man seeth. For a man look on the outward appearance, but the Lord Yahweh looketh on the heart." Right, so man, they look on the outward appearance, and more so with females. Right, so they motherfuckers got money, got this, got car, got all this houses, money, cars, fame, and all that. That more so with females. That's what they look for. Basically, that's what men look at anyway. I said that's why they're drawn. That's why more or less you can see it. That's the reason why they paying these athletes all this money. To play a child's game, right? So they say, oh, these people look at these people with admiration. Why? Because they making all this money, right? They making all this money, so people gonna look at these people with admiration to be just like him. Because why? He look at his stature. This guy got money. He got all the fame, cars, houses, women. So men are looking at outward appearance to what
what somebody got. That's why these elites are paying these people, these individuals, all this major money for some BS, man. That to be some damn entertainer, celebrity, So they overly paying these people because they want to draw people attention to these people as a strategy, right? Is a strategy to pay these people all this astronomical wages. Astronomical wages as a strategy, So they know people look at the outward appearance. They look at the outward appearance, they see what people have. Oh, look at this, look at that. They put them on TV for everybody to see. Look at the fame and fortune of these people. They keep people distracted, Fame and fortune of these people to keep you distracted. And one of the major things is what? Money. Right? So that's one of the major factors of making people look up to people or making people notice people. What? Money. And these elites know that shit, man. That's why but it ain't like it. It's a good cause or whoever they use to have this, or whoever they choose to pick this, to use to get this money. They come out doing wicked deeds, just like just recently. I posted on my account that Lady Gaga, she had wore a fucking, they talking about some type of meat dress, a meat suit. And then she said she came out and told you, no, that suit was made out of children, man. That this suit, they talking about some type of meat suit. That shit, talking about it was a ritual, man, that she had to do. She had wore a fucking meat suit. Then she came out and told these people. I mean, she came out to the public and said that this was a suit made from damn children that was goddamn sacrificed, man. Then she said she's being tormented by these children and shit, man. She's being tormented. So it ain't all that you think it is to be a celebrity, man. You gotta sell your soul to the devil. These fucking Edomites, man. So yeah, you're gonna pay the price for that famous celebrity too. These celebrities and they do demonic rituals constantly, man. So you're gonna pay the price to have that, especially Jake, all of them anyway. That's who for the most part get all this attention too when they become a celebrity. It's these damn it's Jake anyway, man. That's the only form that you have in Esau's kingdom is to be some type of form of entertainment too. You're a servant or some form of entertainment. That's all you see. Esau wants you to be in his kingdom. You here to entertain him, and for the most part, he's giving these entertainers this form of money to keep the majority of the masses drawn to these fucking or drawn to that lifestyle of folly, a folly of the entertainment world, man. That's why he's giving these celebrities, so to speak, quote unquote, that's what they call themselves. They're giving them all this money so they can draw the masses, draw the attentions of the masses, man. Or who doesn't like money, So basically, that's why these elites get paid, like that guy Bill Cooper. What he said, man, why are they paying all these celebrities millions of dollars to play a child's game? It's only a child's game. You know what I'm saying? And these people up here drawn to it like he was made an example. He said, man, they think this guy know all the stats of the first pitcher, first baseman on a certain team, and he think this guy is so great of a person because he knows the stats of this particular player that's the first baseman on the Mets or something, for example. You know, like man, they try to have this, like you say, it's a great accomplishment because I know the stats this first baseman that plays for the Mets. Now they looking at this guy like he accomplished so much. Like that's a form of keeping you people occupied so they can practice world domination while you occupied with folly and murder, you know. So yeah, like I said, it's all a part of the elite, like that, like that Lady Gaga. It says Lady Gaga wore dead kids. This is entertainment purposes, man. That's what they said that Lady Gaga wore dead kids of clothing. She said it was like a beat dress. Lady Gaga has admitted the beat dress she wore at the 2010 VMAs was a blank state, was not blank state. Basically, a damn fucking dress made of sacrificed kids. So yeah, these elite, I mean, these celebrities, man, it ain't what you think, man. They gotta participate constantly in demonic rituals, man. You know, what is it? That's why they see a lot of these fucking athletes and rappers, NBA players, what they wearing fucking dresses and shit, man. It's a humiliation ritual. Damn, celebrity being dressed and shit. It's a humiliation ritual. They got to participate in to keep that fame and fortune, man. You know, they practice homosexuality and all that shit. It's a constant thing, man. They're gonna take my video down. I got what they talking about. I said, Jayish Rabbi say all nations will become slaves. And that all I did was repost. That's the title. All I did was repost what the rabbi said. Now they're gonna remove my video. I don't know. That's what the devil's doing. They watching now. But I posted a couple days ago. I gotta see on my other account that they removed it from it. But all I post was what they are, they removed it from it. All I posted is what the rabbi said. I ain't say anything over. All I did was more or less was somebody's video, and somebody's video, they already got it up, probably on a different social media platform, whatever. They already got it up on another social media platform. All I did was repost what the rabbi said. You know, that's what it is. You can't even. This is what they saying. You post what they saying. Now you in trouble. You looked at it as a bad guy, but I didn't say that. They said it. You know, they removed the video. You know. They control it. This motherfucker control this shit, man. He devil control it. So if they want the shit taken down, you know, it's like all this goddamn shit, you know what I mean? OnlyFans, goddamn these what you want to say, adult websites and shit owned by goddamn fucking these so-called people of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? They own the shit, you know what I'm saying? So more or less they allow it to prosper, man. You know what I'm saying? We like I said, we all seen the shit, but you want to say, I guess not. We've seen it, but who allows it to prosper and be available, man? These motherfuckers, man. I guess they're talking about copyright removal question. But yeah, like I said, all I did, I guess it was copyright violation. But all I did was repost for somebody else, maybe whoever the owner I did was goddamn repost what somebody else already said. So, you know, but that's what they believe, man. And a lot of that's another thing too. What they really believe. A lot of people don't know or don't understand according to their religion what they really believe, which is getting some light now. But that's due to the men of the Lord anyway. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of what they believe in their religion, a lot of people not aware, you know. But they say they believe all nations could be enslaved or will be enslaved, you know, they should be enslaved and they have the right to do that. But if we bring out the Bible, what it says in the Bible, which the Bible says that's the reason why they say it. That's the reason why they believe it. But they think they are who they are. That's the reason why they say it, because they think they are who they are. But the Bible basically says that these nations will be in captivity, basically be enslaved. But we read it to you people out of the Bible, they looking at you like you Esau Edom. You know, but basically that's what the standard of slavery is measured to, the atrocities and despicable acts of the self-proclaimed white man. So that's how slavery or captivity is measured. You know, because this devil has done despicable, unhumane acts to a nation of people. And then when you talk about slavery, the only thing that you can compare is the actions of him. You know, that's the only thing that you can to slavery, man. God. You got anything else we can wrap it up? All right, this one to end our list. Before we close it out, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Ishaq, the Zeros, the brother, Ba'allah, brother, and Lord willing, we back, feed the flock next time. Shalom, Rakathon, Abba Shalom.